So this little old bed frame is going to be what everything sits on, and I got these wheels that would fit about there. That's about the right sort of place. Possibly thinking of just cutting off this little bit of metal here so that I can get it right on the end. But then again, there is enough clearance here, so the whole of this, the diameter of that, is just almost the same as this. So I'm gonna draw it on there, and then use my drill to get through it, and then hopefully make the hole the right diameter for the bar that has to go through to fit the wheels on it. So that's going to be the next step. And yes, I know there are better tools to do this with, but this is what I've got, and the whole point of this is also to show you that you can build this stuff with less than ideal tools. I think the holes were probably a bit too small, but worth checking. Okay, we're getting there. It's not too far off. And here you can see what I've done with the drill is just basically drill all around the area that's going to become the hole, and then once I've knocked that out, I'll clean it up with a bigger drill bit. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but I'm thinking it might be quicker to just melt straight through the metal to make the hole for the bar. So I'm going to give that a shot. Get some gloves on. If you do any welding and stuff like that, obviously be careful, because read all the instructions, etc., because it can be quite a dangerous thing. And make sure that your cables and everything is out of the way of where any hot metal might land, because obviously it's not good otherwise. Okay. points of the electrodes need to be pretty sharp. Okay, so I've now built the holes in the frame to fit this long threaded rod through. But of course the wheels are going to end up touching the little protrusions whether you put them on the inside or the outside. So I've got these old leftover bits of tubing which I'm going to cut like quite a deep sort of a washer, I suppose, that's going to go in there and keep the wheel off the cart. And if need be, I hope I don't have to, but I might have to weld a little piece on there just to make it so it doesn't catch. At the front, of course, different story. I'm probably going to put two slightly short legs that just hold the thing up, and one wheel in the middle, which is going to have to be able to, you know, turn so that I can direct the whole cart when I'm pulling it. So I'll show you this as I progress. Not very exciting stuff, it's all pretty simple, and it will be, of course, you know, unique to your own little cart that you're going to build for the gasifier. So you just are going to have to use a bit of ingenuity there, but I'll show you as I go in stages and the finished product how it works. Okay. And here we are about 10 minutes later. You can see a little piece of tubing here that goes between the wheel and the frame, so it keeps it off from touching any other bits. There's just enough clearance here, and it's not very high off the ground, but you know, it's a good 4 or 5 inches, something like that. Same thing on the other side. So on the inside it's just 2 bolts against each other keeping it locked, and eventually I could put some Loctite in there once I'm finished. And on the outside it's going to be another bolt just to hold everything in. But that's basically it. Now I just need to do the front part, which is going to have a strut across and a wheel in the middle on a pinion so it can turn. And I'll get to that in a bit and show you how that's going. I'm going to cut about 24 inches of this off, and that's hopefully going to work for my the front of the wheel of the trolley to make a little spot that can turn. So we'll see how I get on with that once I've cut it and bent it. So after careful measuring, this is about the width that the wheel is going to need to fit in there, and these things are going to bend like that. But because of the shape of this piece of metal, I'm going to have to cut just over there and over there to make sure that the bend happens quite easily. So without further ado, that's what I'm going to do now. Now, once you've made that level of precision work, as I say, we carry on with zombie horde precision engineering. And now I might have to cut a bit more than what I thought. Yes. I don't know if that will work. Huh. I'm going to try and force this to bend another way first. So I'm going to have to cut all the way down to there to make the bending just a lot easier, and hopefully it'll be strong enough to hold the trolley anyway. Now that will bend. It's just obviously these things are going to knock into each other, and I've got to try and figure out the best way to, I'm thinking to open this and then close it back on so I could always bolt it there if need be. But that's just going to be a lot of hammering. I don't really want to subject you to that, so I'll show you the end result. And this is the result after a few hammer blows. So you can see I've opened that up, so this will fold up to here until it touches there. And as always, I don't necessarily plan these things before I do them. I'm just gonna go with it, and then if I need to cut a little bit out, I will. But that way I better understand what's going on rather than make a plan that then doesn't work later. And you can see the bend works. Now I'm just gonna use the old secret method, which is brute force. Let me just put this so you can see it. There you go. Okay. And yeah. It looks like I'm gonna have to cut two little slots in there, and that might actually make it quite a decent way to hold on to the whole thing. So I'm going to put the mask back on and do that. Now, again, a little bit of the old secret method. And cut that one through. Okay, I don't actually need these bits, so I can cut them off. And that's what I mean, perhaps not the smartest way of doing it, but this way I know that whatever's going to come up, I can design on the spot. Okay, so this will work. Obviously going to have a hole in there, and then a hole in there to do the turning bit, which I'm hoping I'll just have to use this piece here. If that goes in there like that, with a hole in there, this will allow to catch this thing so it can turn in any direction. That's the romantic ideal anyway. We'll see in the next bit. And what's happening here is, as I was cutting, there's a bunch of wasps that lived inside this tube started to come out. They're obviously hibernating. And in case you were feeling sorry for the wasps, yeah, in case you were feeling bad for the wasps, I was zapping them with the disc cutter. Don't. Me and wasps go a long way back, and they've usually got the better of me. So today was just, I don't know, it's been pretty even. I've destroyed quite a few of their nests, but they've got me more than a few times. So, yeah. Anyway, this part is now done. And that's the thing that's going to go over there to fix the wheel. With any luck, we'll see how I manage it. Okay, so that's how it works. You can see that it won't be able to turn because it fits there pretty snug, and this will allow the wheel in here to turn. But now I'm going to grab a spot of lunch. So the cart is now basically finished. I mean, I still need to put like a bolt on each side and maybe shorten the length of that bar, but in essence it's done. So on the back it's really just a threaded bar all the way through, and at the front, which is what took a bit longer, you've got these two little contraptions I've designed. Now the block of wood up there is so that the wheels are held stable, like, in a proper vertical alignment, because otherwise just through the metal there, which is quite thin, what's left of it, they would obviously go left and right. And then what happened here, if you remember, I had those little bits of metal that I cut off from another piece, and that thing ended in a square bit. That square bit is inside there and this metal edge has been folded over and hammered in so that it traps it. Same thing on the other side. Again, this stuff is, not rocket science, and it's specific to whatever you build. On here, what I've got there, I'm gonna need to make this this thread here come out a little bit, because it's just about touching there, which means that when it's turning, it's sort of bumping into it a little bit. Maybe similar thing over there. And once I've pulled that in as far as it'll go, I'll maybe just give it a little spot weld to seal the nut onto the bolt for good. On the inside, it doesn't really matter if it sticks out, so I'll probably just move that, but that's just how it goes. Weather-wise, you can see it's wet here because I've got little water infiltration from the bottom of that, and it's been rainy days for the last couple of days, so it's just slow work. The next bit is to put the blue drum, this thing, on top here somewhere, and then get this bit to turn around upside down and put that big pipe inside the blue bit over there, which sounds a lot more fun than what it really is going to be, and find a way to seal between this and the blue drum, and then of course make some well, before that, make some holes here, put the chains in to hold a little bucket with holes in it, or some kind of grill there, so to stop the ash from filling up the bottom of the blue drum. So that'll be the next step, fixing these things on here quite steadily. Trying to think of a way to do that, and I'll do the next video when I'm busy building that. So you can see, well, maybe you can't over there, but because I'm gonna put these two struts, something like that, across here so that the drum fits here. Keep it a little bit away from the tires just in case. And I'm gonna use these bolts, of which I've only got 3 instead of 4, but anyway, we'll figure that out. That are just gonna go through here and hold this there. The reason I'm using these things is they've got like a U shape, but I don't want to weaken it by just cutting it in there and bolting it in. So it's going to be slightly elevating the whole gasifier off the frame, but that's fine. And I've discovered that drilling through this frame is harder than just melting through it. So got my little welding kit here, and that's what I'm going to do now. So what I'm doing with this is I've got it on at the maximum. Yeah, somewhere there will do. I've got it at the maximum power, and I'm just going to melt a little hole straight through here. Now, one thing you need to do first with electrodes is you've got to grind a point to it. Now, I'm not very good at welding things, but melting holes through them, I'm getting pretty good at that. So that's one done. And you know what? I saved myself a drill bit because I invariably tend to destroy them. Oh, of course. Need a bit of a point again. It's still a bit hot. I'm actually wondering well, I suppose it's all the same really. Yeah, I think I'm going to use a couple of those. I'm going to use a couple of those washers just to make it easier. You know that wise old saying, measure once, don't burn too many holes? Well, it's a wise saying and you should listen to it, because after I put the drum up, I realized it would be easier to have it like rest against here, so it automatically gives a bit more stability. And this was in the completely wrong place, so I put one of the struts here, one of the struts there, and now when I put this on it, it's automatically, you know, got a bit of a support right there. And I've got this old barrel like strap, and I was thinking of maybe doing something like that, like putting it, you know, maybe cutting it here and attaching it so it keeps the top still as well. Because keep in mind that on top of this, we're going to have that going on top, which probably doesn't fit here, so I'll have to do this outside somewhere. And that thing is going to have, you know, the oh, let me just show you what I mean. You know, the bit with the pipe sticking out of it, which you can just sort of see in the background there. Let's see if I can just fix this. Yeah. Okay. So this bit is going to go in here, and on top of it you're going to have, you know, half a drum or so. That's going to have about 30-40 kilos of wood on it. So you want this to be stable, especially if it's on wheels and it can roll around. And that's why I'm thinking of building another, you know, metal strap up here that ties onto some stanchions, which I'm going to maybe try and put on there. But we'll see. I'll have to figure that out. For now, basically the cart is pretty much there. I do need to finish the stabilizing bit, because until I've done that, there's no point in me trying to fix the top of the gasifier here. So this is sort of, you know, unique to your own situation. Whatever your little cart's gonna look like is gonna be, you're gonna have to build one of your own design. So it's a bit unique to each situation, but you know, it's not rocket science. Anyway, that'll be that for now for the little cart, and I'll see you when I've think up of a solution to bolt this this blue drum to the rest of the cart properly, without obviously compromising the wall of the drum, because it's quite thin.